Well, hello fellow scholars, and thank you for being here for another video. I was just doing a bit of light Lolita reading. This lovely piece of literature I have in my hands is just one of many Lolita magazines, books, or mooks that I have in my collection that I wanted to share with you guys today. So grab your reading glasses. I won't wear mine because they make a glare with the camera. I will provide the reading material, and let's get into it. So first up, I'm going to introduce you guys to my stack of Gothic and Lolita Bibles. Now, I only have 6 of these guys, but there are actually 63 issues of Gothic and Lolita Bible. If you're unaware of what Gothic and Lolita Bible is, it is an offshoot of the popular Japanese fashion magazine Kara, and it represents Gothic and Lolita fashion. These are considered a mook, which is a crossover between a book and a magazine. When they were still releasing issues, these guys were a Bible for Lolita fashion enthusiasts. Within these pages, you could find the latest popular Lolita models from Misako Aoki to Rin doll, all showing the latest and greatest trends that were coming to Lolita fashion. Ugh, these are heavy, I'm gonna put them down. Not only do these Lolita fashion books contain, of course, beautiful photo shoots from all the top Lolita brands, but they were also great for a bit of light reading, if you know how to read Japanese. There are 63 Japanese language Gothic and Lolita Bibles with just a few English released ones. But don't worry, there are lots of pictures. So these magazines would curate articles, short stories, even comics that are beautifully illustrated by popular Lolita artist Yo's Monochrome World. Again, the comics are written in Japanese as well, but the illustrations are just beautiful to look at. These mooks are also full of little goodies like sticker sheets, which can be found in the very front page of most of the issues. They also have fun things like little note cards you can punch out, and every single issue of Gothic and Lolita Bible does also come with some sewing patterns. All of my copies still have the sewing patterns intact in the mooks, but I think someday when I'm brave enough to rip them out, I might do some videos on actually making the items from the Gothic and Lolita Bible sewing patterns. Another really iconic part of these Gothic and Lolita Bibles was the gallery of street snaps that they included towards the back of every issue. So if you were lucky enough to be a Lolita out and about on, say, Takeshita Street in Japan during the time that these were being made, photographers would find you and take pictures of you in the street, and you would get published in the magazine. And although I wasn't in the fashion during the vast majority of these issues being released, reading them now really gives me a sense of community. Especially as someone who practices Lolita in a very small group of my own, it's nice to have some reading material which makes me feel like I'm a part of a bigger community or movement at large. Now, unfortunately, since these magazines stopped being produced in 2017, they are quite hard to come by. But if you wanted to try to get your hands on some, there are a few ways that you can get them. The only place that I have personally seen them and bought mine from is a Japanese bookstore called Kinokuniya. But the last time I went to check to try to pick some up, they actually told me they stopped importing the magazines, mostly due to COVID. But if you do want to place a special order with them for the magazines, they will do that for you. So if you and a few other Lolita friends want to go in on like a bulk order of Gothic and Lolita Bibles, check out Kinokuniya. I know May also told me that Barnes & Noble used to also carry them. I don't think they still do, but it might be worth a check if you're already needing to get some books. You could also try your hand at finding them on the secondhand market, on the Lace Market, or even eBay. These magazines are still really beloved by the Lolita community today, and from a runtime of 2001 to 2017, they definitely made a big impact on the fashion, and I think they will for a long time to come. As Lolitas, I feel like most of our content is strictly online these days, so it's nice to have something in like a physical form that I can read and flip through and display. I do display these in my office on the wall. If you'd like to see the rest of my office, I do have a kawaii office tour you're welcome to check out. I'll link it above. And although I only have 6 of these guys, I would love to get my hands on more someday. Now, while Gothic and Lolita Bible is my favorite source for Lolita literature, I do also have some general fashion magazines I'd like to show you guys. This one here is from Q-Pop, which is a super adorable Japanese jewelry maker. Looking at the sticker on the back, I did also get this one from Kinokuniya. I don't know that I saw this the last time I was there, but it's worth a check. If you have already watched my kawaii jewelry collection video, you will know that Q-Pot is one of my favorite jewelry makers. I'm actually wearing one of my favorite pieces I have from them today. If you'd like to see more of my collection from Q-Pot, feel free to view the video. I will link it up above. But yes, Q-Pot is a jewelry line that mainly makes jewelry that looks like realistic food and desserts. Super specific, super interesting, and super fun to look at. I really love all of their editorial photos that they put in the magazine. They're super cute and creative and really intricate and beautiful as well. The way they display their jewelry is just so cute, and all the pastel colors together are really appealing. And I really love the copy I have specifically for the Sailor Moon collaboration they did. I think these pieces are really cute as art. If I was brave enough, I'd rip them out and display them on my wall. Now, I do believe these are released on a seasonal basis. I think this one was released in 2017. If they don't produce them physically anymore, they probably do offer them online. And while this doesn't offer like the community articles and advice that a Gothic and Lolita Bible would, it's just really aesthetic and fun to look at. Next, I have a copy of a magazine book by the name of Miele, and as far as I'm aware, which is, spoiler alert, not very, this was actually a single release edition. I don't know if that was on purpose or because magazines are very risky and they can go under, but there is only one copy of this magazine that's been released. However, much like the Gothic and Lolita Bibles, this magazine does contain collaborations and advertisements from all the top Lolita brands, so it's still very high quality. And with a lot of these books, they do give cute little prizes with their magazines. This one has a super cute pouch in collaboration with Q-Pot. I do still have the little pouch. It's very nice quality. None of the designs are like peeling off or anything like that. It has a nice metal zipper, and I have been using this to store all of my cute plushy keychains. All of these are actually from my Pusheen mystery box video that I did, what feels like ages ago, but if you'd like to see that, I'll link that up above too. Now, while this does have the pretty standard like fashion editorial photo shoots throughout the magazine, the real reason I wanted to get my hands on this copy in particular is because one of my favorite YouTubers at the time, Taylor R, actually did a photo shoot for this magazine. Nowadays, she's more of a general variety YouTuber, but back in the day, she was very popular in the modeling scene, mostly in Hong Kong, but she also did some work while she lived in Japan. And it was really cool to see one of my YouTube idols at the time wearing a fashion that I love so much. The final fashion magazine in my collection is this also single release book called Melt. Again, I don't know if it was intended to be a single release, but magazines are very risky, so I wouldn't doubt if it just went under after the first release. Again, this book did come with a super cute little prize that was attached to the back of the magazine. This one is an adorable little purse from Baby the Stars Shine Bright. I do also still have this purse. I do love the gold foil on the Baby the Stars Shine Bright logo. It's a nice, like, hefty material, and I have been using this to store a bunch of crystals and rocks. Very useful. The vibe I get from this magazine is really more of a youthful take on Lolita. Not that being a Lolita means you're old, but I think it was definitely meant for more of the younger crowd that is into Lolita. So it was nice to see that area of our fashion represented. Now, this does have all the usual photo editorials, advice, and street snaps, and the main reason I wanted to get this is actually because I am in this magazine. It looks like they did a project where they traveled around the world to go to different Lolita events, and they did coverage where they asked the attendees questions and posted photos of them. And so within these pages is probably the smallest, grainiest, worst photo of me and Lolita that exists, but I'm there. Oh God, so heavy with knowledge. Well, now I'm sure we have all broadened our Lolita education today. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below or the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Well, it's time for me to go reorganize these books in my office. I'm gonna go enjoy doing that. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!